Hi, and welcome to Lecture 8 of University Research. Nearly there, huh? Just a couple more lectures and we'll be at the end of the semester, so hang in there. As promised, this lecture focuses directly on the essay plan, which is the next assignment. So if you did good work last week and you have a good mind map, a good complex, detailed, thorough mind map with some references in it, and you've got a thesis statement for your essay, you're already on the way to finishing your plan and you've made a really good start. So this week is the real nexus of the course and of the essay writing activity. It's kind of like the center or the crux of where everything changes, a really important phase. It's where you translate all of that research and reading and thinking and hard work into a product that will become your essay. It's like an intermediary stage, but a really important one. Now, this is an assignment that some people have a bit of trouble with in this course, and that's because it seems pretty alien and unlike anything that you've done before. So I'm going to try and do my best to make it easier for you throughout this module, give you some strategies and some ideas of what's important and how to get there to complete the plan. So first up, like I say almost every week, this is the most important module so far. Haha, I bet you're a bit bored of hearing that by now, but I mean it. In my job, I've assisted with and marked hundreds of essays, maybe 1,000, and my view is that doing a good essay plan is the single thing that most people could do to improve their essays, and that with a little bit of work in an essay plan, the quality of an essay can be improved hugely. It's because it's to do with structures, to do with getting a good structure behind your essay. Unfortunately, doing an essay plan is also something that you are almost never properly taught how to do, mostly because it's a process thing, and at university they tend to focus more on content than process, so there's a bit of a problem there. But let me explain to you why doing a plan is so important. Have you ever had the experience where you're doing an essay and you have to write an essay of, say, 2,000 words? So you do some reading, you come up with some ideas, and then you start writing. Then you run out of ideas and you look at the word count and you go, oh my God, I've only got 700 words. So you rack your brain, you think really hard, you do some more reading, come up with some more ideas, and you write a little bit more, and then you look and it's only 1,100 words. You think, am I ever going to get through this bloody essay? I'm never going to get up to the word count. If you've had that experience before, it's quite a common experience, okay? Happens all the time. The other experience that people sometimes have is sometimes starting an essay and being working really hard at it, doing heaps and heaps of reading, finding lots of resources, getting lots and lots of ideas and heaps of concepts in your head, and then you sit down and start writing it, and you've got heaps of ideas. So you write and you write and you write and you write all of your ideas down on the piece of paper, and it's quite long, and you realize it's a little bit long, but then you look at the word count and it's like 5,000 words. And then you have to do all of this work to cut out all of the work that you've already done. It's like the most depressing thing in the world, right? These are two very common problems that people have at university. Different kind of ends of the spectrum, I guess, but quite common problems. And both of these scenarios can be completely eliminated with a good essay plan. An essay plan allows you to keep track of the scope as you're writing and the word count as you're writing, rather than trying to figure it out on the fly. So put simply, an essay plan makes it much easier and quicker for you to write a good quality essay that will get good marks because it has a strong structure. When you know how useful planning is, it's a no-brainer. And generally when people start doing essay plans, they never stop because they find it really, really useful. This is because instead of trying to figure out your argument as you write and doing research on the fly, a plan gives you a roadmap for your writing. You go, I've got a plan. Oh, what's my first paragraph about? Oh, that's it. Tap, 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 tap. You hammer that out. Oh, what's the next point? Oh, there it is. You hammer that out. What evidence am I going to use here? Or what quotation am I going to use here? Oh, yeah, that's right. I've got it here. Bang, bang, bang. And you tap it out like that. So it becomes much easier and much quicker to actually do the writing of the essay because you've planned the structure quite well. Actually, can even make essay writing fun. Sounds crazy, I know, but it can make essay writing a little bit fun because what it does is it puts you in control of the situation. You know that feeling of being like out of control and feeling like this essay is controlling you and you don't know what you're doing with it and all that sort of stuff. Doing a good plan can put you back in control of the essay and make you feel like you're owning it and you're doing it yourself and in control, which is a really good feeling. More importantly, your essay is going to be much higher quality because it'll have a solid structure and it'll be easy to read by the marker. And hey, that's half the battle, right? Having a good argument is the rest, really. Later on, I'll develop these points much more and give you a much more thorough example. But very briefly, this is what an essay should look like. You get a piece of paper. You might put plan or outline at the top. You write your question for your essay. So this is going to be the question that you set yourself. And as you're doing your plan, you can refer back to your question as much as you need. You then write your answer there. Okay, this is your thesis statement, the one that you developed last week, right? So you've got a clear idea of what your answer is and how it responds to the question. Then all you do is use numbered headings, right? Think about how this answer is going to be broken up into components, and then these numbered headings become main points, like that. Main point, main point, main point. What you then do is you develop that in subpoints. So you put dot points down there under that main point. You say, how am I going to develop each of these main points? You have some references, very important, okay, to have them in your plan. That was what I was saying in your mind map last week. Put references in your mind map because you can just translate that into your plan. But what you're doing in the plan that's different is that you're thinking about the order and structure and precisely what's going to go in and what's going to go out, what's not going to be included in your essay. Finally, what you'll do is you'll break down the word count, right? So if you've got an essay of 2,000 words, okay, your intro and conclusion take about 10%, right? So that's 200. You got 4 points there, 400 words each, and so on, okay? So when this was well planned out to 400 words, and you're actually writing your essay, you write out that main point, use all that evidence, bring it all in there, and then you go, oh, am I at 400 words or not? If it's under, then you're going to have to write more in your next point. If it's over, then you've already used up some space from your next point. This is how I can avoid that situation of, you know, having trouble writing up to the word count or having to write too much and then cut it back. So, today we're going to talk about what you need to know and do to create a good essay plan like this. The module will start off by talking about essay structure, what an essay structure looks like, and briefly what it looks like and why it's important, and particularly this thing called global and local levels of argument, or general and specific is another way of thinking about it. Next up, we'll talk about the guts of your essay plan, the main part, the main points and the evidence that will go into your body. And this is what you'll be using to divide up the structure of your essay throughout the planning process. It's really pretty much the most important part of the planning process. Finally, I'll talk about a number of things that don't really fit under any easy heading. It's a bit of a hodgepodge of things. So things like detail, the need for detail in your essay plan, the need for coherence and flow in your final essay and how that can come into your plan, and then word count and including word counts in your essay. These are some of the higher order aspects of the essay planning process. It's things that we don't expect you to get right straight away, but we expect to see some improvement on fairly quickly. The plan is due the same day as class next week on Friday, right, at 5 p.m. So what you'll have to do is you'll have your class and then you'll have like kind of 1 hour to make any changes to the plan that you really want to do and update it and then hand it up on my uni. So what I want you to do as the pre-tutorial exercise this week is just work on your plan, right? It's pretty lucky, okay, because you get to work on your assignment as your pre-tutorial exercise. So I'm being pretty light on you here. So finish it as best you can. And then in the tutorial, what you'll do is you'll get some feedback from your peers. You won't get feedback from Kirsty. I'll be instructing her not to give feedback on your plans because she's going to be marking it. But you'll do some work with your peers and get some ideas on how to improve it before handing it up. Okay, so next up is a quick video about writing essays and planning. The presentation's a little bit simple. It's just kind of a guy writing on the screen, so sorry about that. But I don't want you to take it as a prescription, okay? So it's all of these videos I'm giving you are kind of things to think about. They're not like the only way to do something or the rules that you have to follow to do something. That's why there's lots of different perspectives on each thing to get you thinking about things that work for you or things that don't work for you. So don't take this video as too prescriptive. In particular, don't worry too much about the rule of 3 that he talks about. It's not like a rule that you have to use in this course or something like that. But if you do like the rule of 3 and you want to go with it and break things down into 3s, then that's cool. If it works for you, that's great. But this video is particularly useful to see how he talks about planning and breaking point ideas down. And how you can use the planning process to break ideas down further. Basically, his argument is that if you've got a longer essay, you just create more detail. create more levels of argument, which is kind of an interesting way of looking at it. If you do think that working in with the rule of 3 is useful for you, go for it, that's fine. But overall, this video is designed to get you thinking about the structure and organization of your ideas, which is the most important thing for the essay plan. Enjoy!